Yo, look who got a haircut. This guy. What's up, Finn fans? So if you could tell from this title, I'm going to be explaining to you guys what the flip-flap and the flim-flam is going on with Teddy Bridgewater and the Miami Dolphins. Is he signing with us? Is he not signing with us? What is going on? He hasn't signed with anyone. So we're in that whole cat and mouse bull. So I'm going to talk about some few things before I get into the Bridgewater stuff. I'm going to answer one of you guys' questions or respond to one of you guys' comments. Because your comments don't have to be questions to be on comment of the day, if that makes any sense. So let's jump right into it. It's official. Dolphins have signed Eric Rowe, cornerback, and signed tight end Clive Walford. I don't hate the moves. The Eric Rowe move is a whatever move. He's a can't body move. He's, like I said in my last video when I talked about Eric Rowe getting signed, $500,000 guaranteed, that is it. Greer, Flores, all these guys know that he was injured a lot and he didn't prove to be a, top starter. So if he can't stay healthy, he's gone. Plain and simple. No harm, no foul with that signing. Clive Walford, again, it's like a one-year deal, kind of like Dwayne Allen's. Really like the move. I like having all these tight ends on here. One of you guys in the live stream yesterday, which, side note, was a blast. At one point we had 280 people in there. So much fun. I noticed that a lot of you guys were like, one of you guys or a few of you guys were like, why do we have 5 tight ends? Well, not all the tight ends are going to make the team. That's for one. And 2, camp bodies. We're going to probably have like 8 tight ends. We're going to have like 12 wide receivers. It's camp bodies. We're not done with that. And also, Josh Sitton was cut. This wasn't yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, but Josh Sitton was cut and saved about $5 million, $5.6 million, something around there. And people are also confused by that because he's not a bad right guard, but he's older and injury prone. So people are wondering what happened. The reason he was cut was because of a failed physical. So he's still injured from his, I think it was a pectoral tear or like a bicep injury. And he's still injured, so the Dolphins don't have any time to waste, so they cut him. So those are the 3 moves that have happened so far. Also, another move to look at and to think about is the whole Robert Quinn situation. He needs to be cut by tomorrow or $12.9 million is going to be taken out of the cap. So Robert Quinn needs to either be cut or traded by tomorrow. Expect that to happen. I can't see the Dolphins keeping Robert Quinn. He was barely productive. This coach, probably doesn't want him. So I expect Robert Quinn to be cut. Let's talk about this whole Teddy Bridgewater situation. Now, today the Saints restructured Drew Brees' contract to clear up about $10.8 million in cap space for the Saints. Does that scare you? Does that make you think, okay, they're going to make a push for Teddy Bridgewater? Well, they also have Jared Cook there today visiting. So they might have cleared up that cap space for Jared Cook. So you got to think about that. But could it be potentially towards Teddy Bridgewater? We still don't know. We don't know what's going on with Teddy Bridgewater. But just a side note, Drew Brees is still getting $23 million this year. So if they didn't cut that, it was like $30 million for Drew Brees. A lot of money. So let's talk about Teddy Bridgewater and let's talk about what happened and what is happening. So essentially the Dolphins offered Teddy Bridgewater a certain amount of money. They offered him, I think, $5 million a year. I think it was 2 years, $10 million, right? Teddy Bridgewater was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to stay with the Saints. Once Drew Brees retires, I'll be their starter. I can learn from Drew Brees, become better. Because he's only like 26, so he's still fairly young. All that stuff. So he decided to stay. The Dolphins, on the other hand, were like, well, wait, hold up. Let's talk about this. What is going on? Then I heard that the Dolphins were off by $1 or $2 million. Like if the Dolphins offered him instead of $5 million a year, around $8 million a year or $9 million a year, that the Saints were going to back out and the Dolphins were going to potentially get him. So all of a sudden that news came out. Then all of a sudden the news came out that, Bridgewater didn't make it official that he's staying with the Saints. And then also Teddy Bridgewater is now heading down to Miami to meet with the Dolphins. You got to understand something. When a free agent comes down and meets with the Dolphins roll out the red carpet. They'll pick him up in a helicopter. They'll take him to the nicest restaurant. They'll give him a tour of the entire facility, show him the Super Bowl trophies, show him all these like high-tech stuff they have. If you're a quarterback, you know for damn well Dan Marino is going to come and hang out. So they really, really spruce it up for him. And then he left with no contract. So it makes you think like, oh shit, we're not going to get him. Crap, we lost out on the free agent. That's not necessarily true. So I've heard what is going on is it's all about money. It's all about money, and it's all about the future for Teddy Bridgewater. Now, if Teddy Bridgewater wants to be a starting quarterback this season, his best option is with the Miami Dolphins. His best option is to come to the Dolphins, start the whole season. If he wins the competition, again, I'd have a competition, show the rest of the league what he has. Like I said, sign him to a 2-year, 1-year prove-it deal. Have him come, show that he's still healthy enough to play a full season, show the rest of the league, hey, look, I'm still really good. And then if the Dolphins do draft Tua or do draft Herbert or do draft somebody next year, and he's like, no, I'm gone. I don't want to be on a team where I'm behind a quarterback. You know, you bring in a rookie, now I'm done. He has proved this year that he can start, and he'll go and start for another team. But, so there's that. There's that whole situation with him thinking like, I don't want to be Tyrod Taylor, because the Browns got Tyrod Taylor. They get Baker Mayfield, Tyrod Taylor gets benched, Baker Mayfield starts, and that's it. And Tyrod's like, no. It's also another reason why Tyrod Taylor went to the Chargers and not the Dolphins, is because of that. He didn't want to do that again. He didn't want to come, play, and then all of a sudden they bring in a rookie takes his job. He didn't want to do that, and I think that that's also what Teddy Bridgewater's thinking. He wants some security and that he's not going to be taken over by a rookie. So there's that whole situation that's going on right now with Teddy Bridgewater. There's also the money situation. Teddy Bridgewater last year was the Dolphins wanted Teddy Bridgewater last year. From what I heard is that the Dolphins wanted Teddy Bridgewater to compete with Ryan Tannehill to be a starter. But Teddy Bridgewater wanted starter money. He wanted like $16 million a year. Supposedly, that's also what is hindering the move now, is Teddy Bridgewater wants around $16 million a year, not including incentives. He wants incentives for games played. He wants incentives for yards, accomplishments, and all that stuff. The Dolphins don't want to give him that much money. Right now, the Dolphins, like I said, would like to give him around $8 to $9 million a year. That's including incentives. So that's where they're at right now with the whole Teddy Bridgewater situation. It's a stalemate between, okay, Teddy Bridgewater, are you going to go back to the Saints for less money just so you can learn behind Drew Brees and eventually become their starter and become the Saints starting quarterback in 2020 and potentially beyond? Or do you want to go to the Miami Dolphins, start this year with less money, prove it to yourself and prove it to the rest of the league that you're a starter, and then potentially go somewhere in 2020 and be a starter? Because you know for a fact some of these teams, like the Jaguars, Nick Foles is all nice and dandy, won a Super Bowl and stuff, but if he sucks in 2019, you don't think that the Jaguars in 2020 are going to make a move for a quarterback? So that's what I'm hearing about what's going on with Teddy Bridgewater. It has a lot to do with playtime, and has a lot to do with starting, and has a lot to do with the contract and the money. Dolphins aren't overpaying this year, and that's a lot of what I've said in the last video. They're playing it smart. So comment below. Let me know what you think about the two signings, Eric Rowe and Clive Walford. I like the two signings along with Dwayne Allen. Great signings. Let me know what you think of Josh Sitton being cut because he failed his physical. Robert Quinn, do you want to keep Robert Quinn? Do you want to cut Robert Quinn? We have till tomorrow, and then he's on the books for $12.9 million. And what do you guys think about this whole Teddy Bridgewater situation? I know it's split because, like I said last night in the live stream, some of you guys wanted Bridgewater, some of you guys didn't. Some of you guys think that Bridgewater is equal to Ryan Tannehill. What's the point? Some of you guys think that he's better, worse. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and let me get to one of your guys' comments for comment of the day. This one comes from Nicholas Hunt, and he says, relax. Let's rebuild this team for the long haul. And that was in response to what I said, and that is in response to what I said in the last video, where I'm like, you know, I'm tired of constantly throwing money at players, team, and all these overpriced people and it not panning out. I said in the last video that with the Cleveland Browns, with the Jets and the Raiders, if they fall on their face and they don't make the playoffs with how much money they spent on these top stars, they're going to be failures, and their team is going to, it's going to crumble. Especially the Browns. If the Browns start falling apart with all those, you know, divas and top-notch, you know, stars they have on their team, locker room's going to fall apart. And a lot of people also say that we're doing it the Patriot way. I don't know if I talked about this in the last video, but it's not the Patriot way, it's the winning way. If you look at teams that have won constantly, and if you look at teams that have been in it constantly, they don't make big splashy moves in free agency. The Packers, the Steelers, the Patriots. Like, it's not the Patriot way, it's the winning way. It's the smart way. I'm not going to throw all this money at this guy, and if he falls on his face, then we're screwed cap-wise, and we're stuck to this guy, you know? It's like the whole situation with Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill isn't a bad quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback. He's not going to lift this team up. He needs the team to lift him up. And I'm tired of that. I want the quarterback to be better and to lift this team up. I'm tired of, you know, it's a minute left, one timeout. Oh God, we'll see. Let's hope Ryan Tannehill can pull this out. Versus, you know for a fact, if you have Aaron Rodgers, if you had Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, all these great quarterbacks, if there's a minute left and you have one timeout, we're winning this game. He's going to march on the field, he's going to score. He's going to make that throw that he needs to make, and we're going to win this game. So that's what I'm tired of 8-8. I'm tired of the fact that for the past 15, 20 years, literally our record's been 8-8. It's been 500. I'm tired of it. I want to be better. And to be better, we need to tear this sucker down and rebuild it up. Now, in last night's stream, one of you guys said, you know, to rebuild up, you need to tear it down to the foundation. I agree. But also, if a house or a building has good structure and good bones, you can build off of that. And this team right now has good structure and good bones. And what I mean by that is, look at who's on this team. You got Tunsil, you got Howard, you got Fitzpatrick, Baker, McMillan, you got Kenyon Drake, you know, friggin' Balaj. You got all of these young, talented players, Gottschall, Taylor, that you can build around. This team has good structure and good bones. We don't have to tank and we don't have to tear it down. We just need to build smart and build right. For the future, I want to start being in talks for Super Bowls and AFC championships every year instead of, well, they can potentially make wild card and, well, you know, they need a quarterback for this. That's what I want. I want the quarterback that can win us the game regardless of what, and I want to be constantly in talks for Super Bowl and AFC champion. But, Nicholas, thank you for the comment. That made me think about all this stuff. You guys enjoyed the 2 days in a row of live streaming. Maybe I'll do it again on Sunday. Comment below, let me know if you guys want me to do another live stream on Sunday. Also, if you can get this video to 200 likes, I will definitely do a live stream on Sunday. How about that? But thank you for the comment. I really am looking forward to reading all you guys' comments about this video and all the stuff I had to say. As of right now, nothing going on with Teddy Bridgewater. If something happens with Teddy Bridgewater, I will tweet it out. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. Popping it up. And you guys want me to do more Instagram posts, so I'll do more Instagram stuff. If not only with Dolphin stuff, just I'll post more on Instagram in general. So be sure to follow me on Instagram. But if something happens with Ryan Tannehill, because this tweet says right now Ryan Tannehill got fired. Ryan Taylor got Jeff Ireland fired. We all think Jeff Ireland is going to bring him to New Orleans. So if anything happens with Teddy Bridgewater, I'm going to make a video. Also tweet it out. So like I said, follow me on Twitter. So as of right now, nothing with Teddy Bridgewater. I feel like this is going to be a longer process. So maybe even tomorrow something will happen with Teddy Bridgewater, which you guys can get a video from me tomorrow. But be sure to go check out the Bit Boys. When you guys asked if we're going to be playing Devil May Cry, we are. I think we're going to record it today. I'll try to have it out ASAP. So go ahead, go over there, check that out if you like it. Subscribe if you're into that video game stuff. If you're into all that gaming stuff, go over there, check it out, subscribe. Be sure to share it. Help us hit 400 subs. We're getting really close. And give this video a thumbs up. Things are changing. The culture of this team is changing. They're not overspending. They're not doing things stupidly. They are playing it smart. They are not throwing money at people and hoping and praying that they pan out like they did before they threw the money at them. Mike Wallace, Ellerby, you know, all of these guys and Dominican Sue that they overspent, and all of a sudden you were like, they didn't pan out. They're doing things differently. They're going to build this team up. We're going to be a championship team for years to come. It's going to work. I know it. So give this video a thumbs up for that. Give this video a thumbs up because you like this content. I got a lot planned for you guys. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that button. Also hit that bell if you want to see these videos. And if I go live, you'll see it ASAP. But like I said in the live stream, I'm going to give this free agency stuff maybe until the middle of next week, or next week in general. And then I'm thinking next week I'm going to start doing my prospects. Even this upcoming week I'm going to start, you know, watching prospects videos. I'm going to do D-line, O-line, and then I think I'm going to do secondary, linebackers, wide receivers, running backs. So after next week, so starting the 24th, draft month. Everything's going to be draft. Mock drafts, prospects, all that stuff. Draft week, draft month. Then we got the draft, live streaming it, hanging out. So be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If Teddy Bridgewater stuff happens, you'll hear it from me. So other than that, stay classy. Fins up.